Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. This is the Noble Combo Podcast. I'm Harrison, and I'm joined by Veronica. She's right over there. Pointing. She's
Here.
over here. Yep. Right direction. Check. We're all good. We just both want an excuse to talk about anything that entertains us, but really, to clean up our never-ending backlog. We are kind of doing that today.
Which we're doing. Yeah.
That's what we're doing. But some would say, Veronica, that we are also conversing.
Like Novo Convo and GOVO Convo, logos of Harrison's head. He's always pointing.
Just if you're on YouTube.
You know, I almost didn't want to say that because of what you did earlier.
But I don't know what you're talking about because you can listen to it every episode as a podcast by searching up Nova Combo on your podcast service of choice. And, I point at this logo because if you're on YouTube, you're going to see it. If you're not, well, actually, depends. I forget.
It's almost everywhere.
Yeah, it's almost everywhere. I feel like it's everywhere. You
everywhere.
see the logo.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's kind of cool still.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
It's like two heads.
Head ass. If you're on YouTube, don't forget, if you enjoy this episode, if you enjoy what we talk about every week, please subscribe. It's super helpful. Like this video, all that, do all that. YouTube stuff.
Yes.
If you like, actually on Spotify or anything else, there's a like button, right? Do that too. It works.
Love us.
Please do. Please. Because Veronica does not give any love here because she's so annoying.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Shutdown button on accident.
Okay, I was literally setting up the podcast, and right before we were about to, we were just talking, and all of a sudden, we're chit-chatting, and she said something that was really funny, and I literally was typing to, open up programs, and then I hit shut down, apparently. Because I look up, and I'm like, shutting down. I'm like, well, it is what it is. But see, she interrupted me once again because I wanted to add that this video is sponsored by Olipop. But more on that later. See, throwing off my vibe. Every time I'm host, she's trying to mess with my day. It's the worst.
It's fine. It works out.
But you know what else works out? This episode, we are actually going to be talking about... If I was good about it, I would insert the Invincible thing. Like how they do
Oh yeah.
But I'm not going to.
Dooming music.
I would, but no, I'm not going to. But no, that's the thing. We're going to be talking about Invincible season 4. So, Veronica wanted to do some reviews. That was the big thing this past week because we both finished watching it, blah, 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 all the jazz.
You know what else is another big thing that you could watch? We won't get into it, but he knows. But yes, we do want to talk about Invincible.
And some other things apparently, but we're not going to be talking about that. That's for later. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this week we're talking about Invincible season 4. It is all on Amazon Prime, of course. All 8 episodes.
8 episodes, yep.
So if you haven't seen it, we'll talk about non-spoiler thoughts real quick. And then we'll say, hey, we're going to take the break. And then we'll go all in on that. So that's your warning right now. I'll give another warning later.
A review. Crazy.
Oh, I didn't say that, did I? It was you, not me. I might have said, I don't know at this point. I'm just going. But, Veronica, how did you feel about this season?
You know what I'm happy about? That they didn't split this season up and make us wait 6 months in between episode 4 and 5. That's what I'm happy about. Because remember, season 3 did that.
But then, have you heard about how some people have been complaining about the animation?
Yes.
So, do you...
And I have no... I wouldn't want to say no issues with it, but I've seen the side-by-side of what the comics looks like and then what, the animators did. So I understand if you're a big comic fan and you're upset about it not being super detailed. Obviously, we've talked about this multiple times. It's it depends on medium, right? If you're in the comics, manga, a book you're reading versus anime movies, it's how you, the person interprets it, really. Because sometimes I feel like animation is pretty subjective. Like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If it's shit, it is shit.
Yeah, I was...
But I have no... It's not a gripe for me this season. I can see some spots being a bad animation, but overall it just feels like what it is from season 1 and 3. 1 to 3.
I will say, I think the more I looked into it after, I know there's the argument of comparing to the comic, which is age old, right? That's fine. I think with season 4, the number one complaint actually is more so to me is that it's more stiff or limited. No, yeah. Like, some people have shown like some of the facts that it's
Do you think it's because they're flying a lot?
Possibly, but also possibly reused shots, I think is the biggest thing. But reused animation points and all that. But I think it is the motion is what I know we talked about this vaguely at like a little bit in the previous episodes. And the more now that the season's finished and I'm like, I kind of did look into it more out of curiosity. And we'll get into more detail of like why I think this does impact this season, because I think it's how with this season, actually I'll say non-spoilery, it does feel a little bit slower, I would say.
Yes.
In comparison. And maybe that does play into like how the animation is used. Like, you know how they had that, it's the infamous episode now for episode season 2, and they talked about how when he went to the convention and they talked about the shortcuts for animation and all that. I think it becomes more apparent this season, is what I feel like.
Yes, I would agree there.
Yeah. Like, there's still brutal moments. There's still, like, some crazy moments, but...
There's some crazy moments, yeah. Yeah, the pacing did feel a little weird.
Yeah.
That is one of my gripes. One of the pieces to my gripe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I don't know. Did it bug you, though? Did the animation bug you overall?
Not too much. There are times when it's, and I think I mentioned this previously, but in this episode I will say I think I became maybe complacent with how the animation is and how the art style is, because I've heard enough that I've seen enough from the comic that I would probably read it at this point, because there's some really cool shots. I will then say maybe not animation, but it does feel lacking when you see what the source material is.
What the source
like there's
material
that
is, yes.
There's a lineup scene in the show, and when you compare it to the OG, like to the comic,
that's what I've seen.
It looks so much better in the comics. But it's even crazier because let's say I know we compare this a lot for anime, right? Where it's like going from the manga to the anime. I think anime or manga, there's always like the detailing with like the strokes and like the shading
kinda
and
like
such.
Lines and shading,
yes.
Yeah.
So that plays a role where you see the impact frame or you see like the panel, right? Where even here it's just showing the lineup, and it's like it's American style comics where it is colored. It is just a still, and it looks really cool. Like, let's say like they have crazy ab lines. There's like all these things, and it does play into how it looks to translation or being translated into the medium. Or being
translated, yeah.
And it does fall flat. I would say I think it's becoming more apparent when you see more seasons, but I think that's also the show's art style is just that now. That's where I've like I would say I'm complacent.
They've always stuck with that.
They have. It's not like some people have said it does look like it's diminished from season 1, which I need to look at again. I think I haven't looked back. I was planning to do it before this episode, but I just didn't have time. So that may be one gripe, and I can understand that. I think that's my one thing. And then but I would say plot at some points felt like it was jumpy, and there may have been a lot of things going on, and we'll talk about it in detail more in the spoiler section. But I would say overall, did you see they did I think it was IMDb, or they always have the chart of like how the episodes were. There's like one bad episode, I would say, and I'd say bad isn't like low rated, but I felt like we didn't need it.
Yeah, it felt very like fillery.
It wasn't in the comic.
Ah, okay.
At least that's what I read, and I think
interesting.
and it really felt like it was just. I think they were trying to add to Mark's like
add more
story
character to Mark, yeah.
Or add a layer, but I don't know. I think
it's
it
probably
fell
not the
a bit
right
more
layer.
flat.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in the spoilers, but I think overall I enjoyed the big themes of like the whole we're talking about more of Viltrumites, I guess overarching plot that's let's say okay, so this at this point you've seen season 3, I would have to assume if you're listening to this. We're leaving from the whole aftermath of Conquest. So Mark is dealing with still stuff from that again, right?
Yeah.
So
he's dealing with like a lot of PTSD trauma.
Yes. So I think the overarching plot is like him dealing with like that and like the weight and the guilt of all of the trauma essentially. And I think the one other thing is it feels like it's just a build up to that. But then I think it may have just also been the pacing of like, we got to that build up. I feel like there were so many big things that happened.
I would agree.
And
I think there is a pacing issue of season 4.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the lines. I can't pick it up where, but there were some points where it was just like, oh, okay.
Well, and I think
there's a lot of characters here together, and then you're kind of like switching like stories a little bit.
Yeah, trying to keep it non-spoilery. I think it's just trying to juggle all these different stories like Viltrumite, Mark, Omni-Man, Adam Eve, even like just like
even Debbie for a little bit.
Debbie for a bit, Alan. Like there's all these things that they're like trying to like juggle. And there's a lot of story and things that they're trying to get across, and I'm like, maybe that's what it was, but I overall enjoyed it, but I did notice like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if it's like I just lost my attention to it, and I had to I found myself rewatching certain things, and then some things I'm just like, okay, cool, that was cool.
I would agree. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched this weekly, and then I think the last maybe 2 weeks I just like waited until the final episode and just kind of binged it.
Yeah.
So maybe this is more of like a binging season.
It's more of a setup season again, I would say.
Yeah.
But it has big moments, but it's still a setup season is where I land on. So and
I've heard they might make up to 9 seasons total.
Yes.
7 to 9 is what I've heard.
Yeah.
So they're halfway through the comics.
Yes, they are. This is essentially the halfway point.
Yeah.
And because I saw someone like say point to the 3 volumes compendiums, they're like, we're about here, and it's like in volume 2, and it's like kind of halfway,
like halfway through. Yeah.
So I think we are. It's the setup. It is the essentially like I would say like the morality of like character needs to come to terms with
kind of build up
things, right? So yeah, I would say it was a good season, but it definitely had its like negatives. Like, there's this cons with the season, and it's just I would say pacing feels like a lot of just arcs, too many plot lines.
Yeah,
and even the finale, I feel like the finale had like a lot of like, oh, there's going to be a lot of things going forward, but in comparison to what we've had the last few seasons, the last few seasons, there's always like that big like oomph, like that climactic ending, like whoa, that happened.
Yeah, nothing happened here. Nothing like big.
Yeah, but
happened.
I do appreciate how they did it though, and we'll get into details of that. Like it is done differently from the comics, and I actually liked it more in the show versus how I saw it portrayed in the comics.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll touch on that. We'll touch into that. But overall, I think people will probably land on this was a decent season, but it felt messier compared to the others.
Yeah.
But on that note, this is a spoiler warning that we're going to switch. But right before that, we're going to talk about our sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by Olipop, the soda your gut will thank you for. Yes, I'm talking to you, all of you. All right. Have you ever missed that classic soda pop feeling? You know, the fizz, the flavor, but without the sugar crash and the guilt trip? Yeah, me too. You too, Harrison too? All of us. That's why I'm introducing to you Olipop, the soda that's bursting with flavor and good for you too. I actually have my favorite one here, strawberry vanilla. But the other weird one that I enjoyed was banana cream. I know, it's weird, super weird, but this is my favorite. Number 1, because it only has 3 grams of sugar per can, plus it has 9 grams of prebiotic fiber. And you know what you need with fiber? To use the restroom. Hee hee hee. But yeah, that means that you're going to have a happy and healthy gut with every sip. And it looks like that they took everything we loved about classic soda and upgraded to a modern, healthy conscience person. Like you, like me, like Harrison. My co-partner. My co-host that's not here right now. So ditch the compromise and experience the soda revolution for yourself. Don't forget to use our promo code NOVO15 NGOVO15 to get 15% off your first order on drinkolipop.com.
And we're back.
Wow. As I condition myself now.
I'm breaking the mold. I'm thirsty, but I'm breaking the mold. Just hearing about all that.
Drink the water.
Just drink the water.
Drink the water.
All right. Like I said, you had your warning that there's the spoiler section, and we're going to be talking about details of the season. So if you have not seen it, go watch it.
Finish it up.
Like this video, save it for later. Boom, easy. Don't worry about it. And that was your warning. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. All right. So, like I mentioned, this season picked up from the whole Conquest fight. Invincible War, like all that jazz. So Mark is in a definite traumatic part of his life again. Just keeps getting worse.
Being traumatic, yeah.
It just gets worse.
He's getting trauma from left to right.
Yep.
Continues to get it.
Yep. But now we're building up into the Viltrumite War because now Alan and Nolan, Omni-Man, are teaming up, and they're like, we need to get Mark involved. Mm-hmm. So there's that whole thing. So I was gonna say I did enjoy that part. I actually enjoyed that episode where Alan and Omni-Man actually had to like delve into like what they need to do to fight the Viltrumites. Yeah. And I was gonna say there's a lot of plot points here. It's like essentially Mark's dealing with his guilt of like just essentially killing people, right? Mm-hmm. But then Omni-Man also is dealing kind of with the same way, but it's like going towards a redemption.
Yeah, it's more like fixing the betrayals that he made in like season 1 and 2. Yeah. And
then we jump onto the more side stuff where it kind of ties. It tries to ties in with Mark's. It's like you know, guilt-ridden thing where there's like the Segwids, there's like the dinosaur, like that one dinosaur villain where he's like, oh, I had to kill that guy too. Yeah. Because he was like an extremist thing. And then I think that's what they tried to do with Damien Darkblood, with Satan and all that. With the Hell Arc, with that one episode.
Oh god, that was so random.
That was so random though. Like I understood what they were trying to do, where they're like, Mark's like, oh, I've done so many bad things and this is hell. This is just the hell like section of my life.
Yeah.
But I felt that was the most unneeded, and it wasn't actually. I don't think it was actually in the comic. I mentioned it earlier that it wasn't.
Yeah,
I read somewhere that it wasn't.
Random.
Let me mention.
It was the most random episode.
Was the hell?
But can I just add that Sandra Oh did an amazing job voice acting this season.
She was so good.
She was great.
Especially when like Nolan came back.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a lot. Like.
So emotional. And apparently, both the actors, they weren't in the same room, so they were separated. Whoa. And I think Sandra Oh had to like listen into J.K. Simmons' like voice, and she didn't know what he was saying, so he like semi-improved his parts during the apology. So it was crazy.
That is crazy.
Crazy work.
Also, to add, Kirkman said he always wanted to add this add the hell portion in the comics, but he couldn't. So this was him trying to add like a layer, most likely a layer of like, oh, definitely like Mark is coming to terms, and this is like him in hell,
his way of doing it.
And you know, it's like just another, yeah. It's a weird thing. I don't think it was.
It would have been better as like one of those like one-shot episodes, like the Adam Eve episodes. It would have been better like that,
and
not in this season because that was random.
Yeah, and it just felt. I actually forgot Damien Darkblood's whole thing, so it was like a definite whiplash of like, oh yeah, this is a thing.
Who is he again? And then you're like, oh, okay.
But it didn't. Did
he die? Oh no, he did.
It was just weird.
It's a whole thing.
It was just trying to add to Mark's struggles, but it was not. And it was the lowest rated episode of the season.
I wonder why.
Rightly so, honestly. Did you? Is there anything specific you wanted to talk about, like arc-wise, plot-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to talk about my gripe, and I feel like I haven't had a gripe in so long. I was thinking about it. I was like, when was the last time I could complain about something?
Okay, let's go.
But here's my complaint. We're going to talk about, like, there were so many characters that we had to juggle and, like, remember. Right. Because season 3 came out, like, about a year ago.
Right.
So it's been a while, right? So you need, like, recap everything. My gripe is, remember at the beginning, halfway through, maybe, like, almost towards the halfway through point, we had that team where it was, like, Rex or the robot guy and then like Monster Girl and then that whole team, and they were fighting against those aliens that were duplicating themselves quickly. Yes. And then like they had like the antenna, so if you killed the antenna they would die on Earth, like the pink? But they wouldn't die. The green. Yes, the green.
The one that ages fast, right?
Yeah, ages fast if you kill the like antenna.
Something like that, yeah.
On their ship. Well, I feel like we forgot about them because that was the last time we heard about them.
That was season 1.
And I hope
that was season 1. The green guys.
Season.
No. The last time we saw.
Oh
them, right?
yeah. But like Rex and like the robot and the monster girl, they're stuck on their planet. Yes. So I'm like, we will revisit this, but when? Because I totally forgot this whole thing happened, and I was like, oh, we're just gonna end with them being stuck over there and then go to Mark and Debbie's issues with Nolan.
You know what it felt like? It felt like, at least in terms of when I was watching it weekly, because I watch it weekly too, the vibe I got from that was, oh look, Robot was going to be able to help figure out what was wrong with Adam Eve. So essentially what Eve was going through is like, oh, he was like, oh, I can figure this out soon. And I feel like it was partially supposed to like add a layer of like, uh-oh, smart guy's not here. Now we can't progress that part of the story. So Eve's got to figure out her own thing again.
But that also felt abrupt, Eve's part too. Like the whole like the robot guy like trying to figure out what's wrong with Eve, and then she knows she's pregnant, and then we just end it there, and then it's a whole arc of Mark, Nolan, Alan in space, and then we get to the last episode and it's Eve's like, oh, I was pregnant and then now I'm not.
Yeah.
So technically the robot guy, he doesn't need to do anything else, really.
No. Yeah, it's essentially, I think it was more like he was trying to, it was also more likely he was just him trying to, take charge and be like, no, this is what we need to do. Because, he was struggling with his,
because
what was it?
He ended up not being the leader of the team anymore.
Yeah.
It was
like a sacrifice type situation where he's like, I need to do this.
Yeah, I just didn't like how the side characters, all of their arcs or like their plot points got abruptly stopped. Yep. And then you just get into this arc where it's Mark, Nolan, Alan for like the rest of the season. And then when you get to episode 8, it's like, oh, here's XYZ.
You know what it is? I think part of it is time passed. Time did technically pass.
Yes.
Enough time has passed, and it just didn't feel like it is part of it because I don't know how else they were supposed to show it, but they always had to say how much time has passed on the ship.
Yes,
right?
they did. Yeah.
Like not even like I think
it's been
even
3 weeks.
They had to say it though. Versus did they? Now I have to think about it. They could have done a transition where it's like 3 weeks later or time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how else you could do it better because they do have to show time has passed. Because even when Mark almost died fighting Conquest, time passed. The only way you could tell is
he grew. They all grew more hair.
Oliver grew. No, Oliver didn't grow anything,
Stubble.
but Omni-Man did, and then Mark did because he's comatose.
It's comatose, yeah.
I will also
that was 4 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot happening, and then Alan and the tech jacket, Zoe, is stuck in her suit for months. There's just so many things that you have to keep up with how much time is passing, and it has to add, right?
Yeah. I just felt like those side characters were kind of just pushed off.
Yeah.
After a while, especially Eve this season, which I hope
she's getting a very. I feel like it's an unfortunate situation where I feel like her character is devolved from being a hero to being the girlfriend of Mark.
The girlfriend, yeah.
Because it feels like a lot. Feels like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I understand there's a lot of trauma where like she even says it like my people close to me have died. There's like all these. I know that, but it still doesn't feel. It still feels like she's becoming more of a human character versus like a superhero.
The superhero,
like,
yeah.
They used to be like the superhero couple, but now it's like she is.
Well, she hasn't used her power. She got fat.
I mean,
in her terms.
Granted, she almost died. Yes, I think I'll have to say that she almost died. So it's not like she hasn't done anything. It's just I feel like that's the trend that the character's going in, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see about that. Because let's list it out, right? Mark has become more brutal. Like over the season, by the end, the changes have been Mark is now more brutal, but now he's become more of a class. He's trying to become more of a hero, I guess, if anything, because he goes from being the blue suit Mark to now his OG suit. Which I understand that's the transformation, right? Omni-Man Nolan is now more of a trying to become more reformed. He wants to
be reformed.
We are more sympathetic to him.
I can't believe this season made me more sympathetic towards Nolan.
I knew it too. That's why I said it. I was like, we are more sympathetic. I feel sympathetic. I get it. Because the shock of season 1 was like, oh, he's doing this for the Viltrum Empire.
I feel bad, but I also don't.
But how everything's handled with him, honestly, like Debbie not fully forgiving him right away, peak. Like, really good. Her whole conversation with him,
yes, I agree.
Valid. Let me see. Alan's now like
Oliver's
the leadership, or the leader of like that one, the coalition.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's just a thing, and now he has to deal with like the virus. So the more dilemmas there. There's a more dilemma of like having to wipe off the Viltrumite Empire.
The Viltrumites,
but then they're evil.
But then they're lived on Earth like normal people.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a bit. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Because I do want to talk about Viltrumite. Debbie, her thing. Oliver also. Getting this.
Oliver just felt very plain for me this season.
I think they're setting him up for something later though. But he's the classic kid of like, don't fight Thrag alone. Fights Thrag alone.
Well, he's like the typical younger child.
Yeah.
It's the younger sibling syndrome. But oh my goodness, Oliver, that one episode of Conquest when Conquest was behind Oliver and it was just pure silence. And you know when it's silent with Conquest, it's never good.
Nope.
And Oliver was just so not there with it. Nope. He was so clueless. And that's what made that scene so much better.
Yep. So we're talking about character changes and all that. How do you feel about Thrag?
I find him very bland.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I don't like him.
Okay.
And I just don't know if it's because the season's a setup for him later, but he just seems like I like him more in when it was Nolan's like past about him. Like I don't like the present Thrag.
Okay. I was going to ask with the past, because I feel like the past we had to talk about too, because it's supposed to give us better insight of the Viltrum Empire.
Nolan.
And Nolan too.
And Nolan, yes.
His parents are, I mean, their whole society is messed up. Because
they will kill anyone.
They will kill anyone, because his parents almost was going to kill him.
Yeah.
And
he has a little bit of his mom, though. His mom is a little bit more sympathetic than his dad.
No.
In my opinion.
I thought his dad was more sympathetic. Because his mom was mad.
Yeah, but she could have just killed him.
No, but the dad stopped her. No, the dad stopped her.
Yeah, she walked away, though.
Yeah, because she was pissed.
And Nolan, well, yeah. I feel like Nolan takes after the mom.
I don't remember. It doesn't feel like that. Because it was...
Really?
Because I thought the mom was more, like... was ready to kill Nolan, and then the dad was like, don't. And then she was upset with the whole thing.
Yeah. I think you're right. But I feel like he does take after his mom, though.
Huh.
A little bit. That's just my opinion, though.
I think the mom was just more like for the greater good, right? Type maybe, but we didn't get that much.
Nolan was also for the greater good at one point in the past seasons.
Or greater good of Viltrum, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember this with the mom. I think the mom was just a really quick, like, oh, see, like, she's just Viltrum through and through. And then the dad showed weakness. And then I think the irony was, like, they all were going to die from the Scourge virus, right? But then Nolan survives and then sees his dad dead, which is the weakness I felt.
Yeah.
So,
it is, yeah.
So I thought the dad was the more sympathetic one because he was like, oh, I don't want my son to die. But low-key.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. Thrag is just not really a character I enjoyed this season. He's very bland.
Yeah, I think...
But I feel like you have the opposite, maybe.
Not super bland, but I feel like he's being set up a lot. And I thought in the last fight, they showed off like how strong he is, which I'm like, okay.
Oh, he's crazy.
Yeah. So
he's legit crazy.
Literally, everyone up to that point though, I saw everyone online was like, "Oh, Thrag doesn't have aura. He's like, what is this? Like, he's lame." Yeah. Like even his voice, people were mad about too.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was just sitting there for first half of the episode.
Yeah. Which I think he didn't have the final boss energy for a long time. That's probably what it is. Because we just had Conquest, who's crazy.
Yeah. Well, who's crazy?
Who's actually crazy.
Which, I mean, Thrag can barely control Conquest as is.
I thought
if you do
I thought he was able to technically at that point though. Like Conquest would not. Remember how
you can see Conquest's eyes just be like,
yeah,
but I want to do.
Yeah, but he still didn't do it. I think the last fight to me was when I was like, okay, Thrag is a threat. Literally.
Well, he's so fast.
Like he dodged everything, which is like crazy. But also like the fact that like also Nolan's actually strong because Thrag did like that punch, like winded up for that punch, pulled Nolan in, and then decked him. Yeah. And then I was like, or uppercut him essentially. I was like, boom, and then Nolan still is alive. I think anyone else would have died.
If it was Mark, he would have died.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess Thrag has like that. To me, they're setting him up because the ending. So let's talk about the ending with Thrag real quick. Because one, Mark is having PTSD, right? With that whole thing, like
for the whole episode.
Because that's the thing. They just destroyed their planet. They destroyed their planet. Did you expect that?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Because that old man was like talking about it for way too long.
That's fair. You know what? That's true. That's fair.
Like he's like, I want to kill my people, even though Mark and Oliver and Nolan are like gonna be our savior. Like we're gonna have to kill them.
And then, well, even like I think the moment I realized it probably was when Nolan was like, "This isn't our home. This is a tomb." Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
And it really is.
Yeah, it is because I mean, again, also that ring is just bodies.
It's full of bodies. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Can't put Conquest up there.
Yeah, there's so much things where it's like I think Nolan's part of the story was super interesting to me because it's like he had so much to internal strife of like, look, I had to kill my like people, and that's all I've ever known, right?
Yeah.
I had to commit genocide against my own people, essentially. But
I mean, he's been staring at it for a very long time, though.
yeah, but it's like you hear how they talk, and you're like, nope, that's valid. They're they're like essentially brainwashed. But I think the ending where it's leading to now they're on Earth, like you said.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the whole like PTSD moment of that episode?
I think for Mark, it's a good way for him to save the planet.
Oh, like a motivation?
It's a good way for him. Yeah, it's a motivation for him to be a hero, or the hero that he thinks he is. Not the hero that his dad's kind of molding him into, or like what's his name? Cecil?
Cecil?
Cecil? Cecil? Yeah, Cecil is telling him, but he made this decision on his own by himself. Yeah. Essentially.
It's like, we will let you stay here.
Yeah, stay here. Go ahead, make mixed Viltrumite human babies like me. Like,
yeah.
That's essentially what Mark's answer is. So I think it will give Mark an extra layer next season on how that decision's about to affect everyone.
And that's the thing. I was like, I think for Mark, the overarching thing for him was he was a hero, but is he still a hero with how he's been acting, like how brutal he's been this whole season?
Yeah.
Is he just becoming more of a Viltrumite, right? Because
is he turning into Nolan?
Yes, which I thought was a really, honestly, really cool, I guess, question to just keep dangling in front of us this whole time. Because at the end, the view is he's letting the Viltrumites stay on Earth. So doesn't that mean he's being more sympathetic? And like the question in the general public eyes is like, did you just let that happen then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's also like, do you want to fight Thrag right now?
Yeah. But like you said,
that's his other option was to fight him.
So I was gonna say they, the change that they did with here was initially when Mark comes home in the comics, he's flying through the Earth and he can't find anyone. He's like, they're not here. Thrag actually appears at that very moment. And he's like, we are very much here at that moment in the comic. While in the show, they built that up where it's like he is
for like a couple weeks. Right?
Yeah, he is just having PTSD and he just sees it, but he keeps seeing Thrag appear. So it makes you as the viewer question if he's actually there. So I thought that was a way better build up to Thrag at that moment appearing.
That was a good build up.
Versus just appearing right away and it's like, hey, that because they struck the deal at that moment in the comics.
Yeah.
While here they got to build up his PTSD moments, and he's like just seeing it all the time. In that very moment, he closes his eyes and sees Thrag after. I think that's such a better setup.
I like that actually.
Yeah.
I like that setup more.
Yeah.
I do like it when Thrag would I didn't expect him to appear.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, these are like PTSD moments. Like we're just gonna cut somewhere.
Yeah.
To him and Eve in bed or something.
Yeah. But then he's there.
Yeah, he's there. No, that's a good change.
That was like the one one of the few things where I'm like, oh, the change is good. And I know there's like a lot of characters that they're gender bending, for instance, like Tech Jacket was supposed to be a dude.
Not a dude.
Not a dude. There's like a lot of I wish I wrote this down because I kept watching different the changes that they made.
Like Kips, yeah.
Blah blah. Because it's gonna pop up on your algorithm now.
Oh, it definitely is, and I'll link it to you.
Yeah, but do you feel like do you personally feel like Mark was right to let the Viltrumite stay on Earth? If
I was Mark in that moment with those two options, yes.
Okay.
But I know down the line that's gonna be a fuck up.
That's a bomb
that we're gonna have to
fix.
That's
actually because they're just there, right?
Yeah. I mean, Cecil was right. He was like, well, you didn't technically win in this war because you let 50 of them live.
Can we also because you just reminded me, every time Nolan came back, because it showed again. Because like the last thing was like Nolan's sitting on the on the crater where he's like beating Mark until.
Yep.
Cecil was like, "You say you won? This isn't winning." Because essentially didn't do shit.
Yeah. And I like how Nolan tries to make everyone understand that he's not the person that he was season 1 or 2. But everyone, when Nolan leaves, they like drop the tension. Like the guy that makes the suit, he was having a conversation with him and he like dropped the tension as soon as Nolan left. Because he doesn't know. Yeah. What Nolan would do.
Yeah, but
I think that's a crazy detail to like add in.
Or like he's like, you know, he's dropping like his like
his like facade.
And then he's like he was actually like freaking out the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's true because I think I appreciated that so much because I felt like that was the most realistic reaction to everyone's like normally some comics say, okay, yeah, we see what you're doing and it's fine. I guess we can deal with it now. And then it slowly feels like there's some kind of like, you know, I guess acceptance, but here no one accepts Nolan for who he is, and they're like, no, we actually hate you still.
No. Yeah.
Except Alan. And of course his sons. But
well, yes. Alan, my boy, Alan.
He's such a good guy. But hence that's why it's such a fun thing to see how he's the one that has to deal with the Scourge virus now.
Yeah. I'm interested to see which way he's gonna go.
Because he did say that, or he did hear that now the virus should be used, but the reason, I guess part of the reason was it will possibly affect the humans now.
Yes, who he likes.
Yes.
He likes Mark.
Yes.
He likes Nolan.
Yes. So that's
he likes Oliver.
I'm so curious. That's the next thing I'm super curious about for the next season is how that's going to be handled, dilemma-wise.
No, same. And I just want to see how older Oliver will be when he gets out of this. Because I think he ages more rapidly than Mark.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, he didn't age that much this season, but I'm curious to see.
He went from a boy to a teenager, essentially.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious to see when he's in space now, getting help.
Yeah.
You know, Debbie's coming through as mom.
Yeah. Especially that's right. That'll be interesting too, where Debbie and Nolan are on a ship. He did the classic about to reach out for her, but then didn't.
No, didn't.
But he misses her.
Yeah, he does.
See, no, I remember hearing that the first time in that season. He's like, I think I miss her. Like, essentially, I think I miss my wife. I'm like, are you serious? After all this, but then
now you miss her.
I enjoyed the fact that like he got to see her and did not thought he could get closure. No closure.
No closure.
Yeah.
Still no closure.
And I appreciate that.
Good on Debbie.
Good on Debbie.
Sad for Debbie and Paul though.
Yeah, did not expect that. But again, see, I couldn't tell. Time that if we're going to talk about cons, pacing and time passing felt so hard to keep up with because it should have technically, if you think about it, enough time passed that they're like, yeah, this didn't work out. But it didn't feel like that because
it didn't feel like
everyone low key kind of looks the same, but it's not like enough time passed. It's not like years passed, months passed.
It's a couple months.
Months passed, but not years. So obviously everyone looks relatively the same. So time just felt kind of hard to keep up with.
I agree there.
Yeah. I think so I guess the big thing is, what are you looking forward to in the next season? Or what questions do you have? I think we kind of touched on
Alan, my boy Alan.
Okay.
I gotta know. I know he likes to just have some freaky time with him and his lady. Kept Nolan up. I like how that alien guy, the captain of the ship, was like, "Oh, thought you were a throuple."
So I didn't I didn't want to yuck your yum, essentially. He's like,
there are plenty of rooms in the ship. Just thought you wanted to be together.
Yeah, that was so funny.
That's so crazy.
Also, that guy being consistent, like, could I have my ship back? No.
Yeah, no.
You're so incompetent.
No, I'm excited to see where Alan goes.
Yes.
Because essentially, from when we've met him till now, he's been the funny character. It's Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Like, duh.
Yes.
But, like, I want to see him be more serious and have to make this decision that he is going to make. Interested in seeing the Viltrumites live a human life, actually.
I was going to say, that's the thing I'm so curious about, is like how they are and what they're going to do. Because imagine
them procreating. They're about to have, like, a couple marks out there.
Yeah. And I'm so curious, like, you know, they're saying, like, oh, we're just going to procreate. I wonder at some point, like, I just don't know how much depth we're going to get with them. Because it's like, I wonder
if you think they'll turn into Nolan and be like, oh, I actually like my family.
Imagine, right? I could see that.
Yeah.
But it's also going to be so interesting to see, like, I want to see if, like, we just get a whole episode of just their daily life.
Yes. The one guy with the eye patch, the one eye, he's just going to town. He's like, I can smoke cigarettes, have a bike, make out with someone.
He looked like he was the most, like, uptight person in the Viltrum Empire, like, during the whole thing, right? He's just like, I have to report all these findings, blah, blah, blah. And now he's just like,
he's chill.
Screw it.
Thrag's head. Chameleon yourself in. Got it.
Go. He's like, say less. Immediately smokes and just rides off.
That's yeah, I think those two are what I'm most interested in for season 5.
Yeah.
How about you? What are your?
Yeah, mine was mainly like the Viltrum, the whole Viltrum on Earth type situation, and I guess I'm just curious how they're gonna push Mark going forward, because I wonder how. Because they did kind of show, like, now he had PTSD, right? And then now he has to deal with this whole, like, low-key ticking time bomb of Viltrum's on there. They literally can just do whatever they want as long as no one interferes with their...
Like, says anything, does anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious how he's going to handle that with, like, Alan and Cecil and, you know, everyone, right? Guardians and that whole thing. Yeah. I'm just curious if we have all these side stories, if we're gonna touch back this next season. Yes, I'm sure we will. Yeah. Like, I'm sure Monster Girl and, like, Robot will somehow come back. But how much time, right?
Exactly. And you know what? Conquest, that man ain't that dead. I saw that rock move. That man ain't that dead.
Classic. The classic.
He's not, he's not there. He needs to be, but he's not there.
Yeah, we'll see. I bet,
He's about to have the biggest crash out going home.
Yep. Or he'll just procreate. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But I think that's all I got. There's way more. There's probably a lot of stuff we missed per usual, but that was, like, the big things that I wanted to touch on. I want to see if... So, you know what? The main thing I do want to see, actually, is will they take criticism... Take the criticism about the animation and take Switch longer? Because I feel like we thought they took long enough. But what if they need to take longer? Because that's what people were complaining about, was the budget, and, like, people were confused.
Season 5 is supposed to come out next February.
Yep.
So that's not too long.
No. And that's the other thing. I do want to address that part, is, like, some people, like, they have so much money and they're spending it on voice actors and all. I'm like, yeah, that is honestly American. That's American US animation. That's a big part. Because unfortunately we got to have named voice actors.
You got to know what you're listening to. You just got to know. I mean, it's been Walking Dead, so just get more cast for The Walking Dead.
It has.
Might as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just curious if they're gonna take a bigger gap to address the animation quality. But I also think people are comparing it to, like, anime when this is, like, honestly American animation.
It's an American animation.
And I don't know how else to go about that.
Yeah.
It's all animated. Yes, I get it, but we'll see. I have lower expectations when it comes to anime or animated shows in America, because I think I just know that it's it's not taken as seriously at times. So that's just my guess. So
we'll see.
But that's all I got. So on that note, thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on all our socials at Nova Combo and GBO Combo. If you're on YouTube, comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the season. If you like disagree or agree with anything we say, like, or do you feel like what you're excited for going forward? Are you going to continue watching? Because some people feel like they need to drop. Yeah, I felt like I heard that a lot more this season. So we're super curious. Otherwise, hit all those buttons from right to left on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up on like any of your Spotify podcast platforms. Helps us out. Other than that, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.